Hey there, yogis. My name is Crystal Gray. Today I'll be showing you how to do Chaturanga. So this pose, it's actually a pose, it's not a movement. So sometimes people think that a Chaturanga is actually moving through a movement, but it's actually one pose. So today I'll show you how to do that pose safely and correctly so that you can really develop the muscles that you need for some more advanced poses. So if you're always doing this pose the wrong way, you're probably not engaging the correct muscles, and then you won't build the strength you need for more advanced poses like other arm balances. Well, Chaturanga is not an arm balance, but it prepares you for arm balances like crow, side crow, any pose like that. All right, so let me just show you first what Chaturanga is. I'll do the more advanced variation, and then I'll show you how to break it down and modify so that you can find where it feels good for you now so you can start working on it today. All right, so I'll talk you through it. First, this right here, this is Chaturanga, okay? So sometimes people think that this whole movement is a Chaturanga. So people will say, move through a Chaturanga. Well, Chaturanga is just one pose. So if they say to do Chaturanga, then technically you would just be sitting in Chaturanga, which would be a very hard pose to hold. Okay, so first of all, how I start doing it is on the knees for sure. So what you'll do is you can come to plank and then push yourself forward. So see how whenever I push forward, my shoulders come past my wrists. Okay, so you don't want to lower down here because that'll get you out of alignment. You want to push forward and then lower the knees. Now, what you really want to focus on is not letting your booty hang out and lowering down with like that. Okay, so you really want to have engagement. So draw the low ribs in, navel to spine, tuck the tailbone towards the knees after you push forward. Okay, so after you push forward, tuck the tailbone, navel to spine. Then if the knees don't come down, you'll still stay like that. Navel really pulled in. Okay, then you could come down here. This is Chaturanga. All right, so another thing you want to make sure that you don't do is to let the shoulders come down like this. Okay, so you really want to try to keep the shoulders plugged in. Okay, you don't want to drop all the way down like this, but you just want to keep the shoulders plugged into the joints. Navel to spine, lower down. Okay, so what you can do to practice this is just start with some little tiny push-ups. So you can come here, plug the shoulders in, navel to spine. Okay, little tiny push-ups just like this without letting the shoulders come forward. Notice that the elbows are going back. So the elbows brush by the sides and they point back. They're not going to be going out to the sides. Your hands are like they're in down dog hands. Okay, so they're not out wide. They're not in close, just a little bit wider than the shoulders. Okay, so again, plank, push forward, navel to spine. Then you can lower with or without the knees all the way down to 90 degrees. Then you can lower down to the belly, uncurl the toes. Inhale, come through to cobra. Exhale, hips up and back to downward facing dog. All right, so a lot of times whenever people are having you move through this Chaturanga, they're wanting you to go from Chaturanga straight to upward facing dog. So for beginners, I would definitely, or if you haven't been doing Chaturanga right, I would start doing it just like how I just did it. Okay, so you push forward in plank, navel to spine, knees down, lower all the way down to 90 degrees, maybe hold for a second, pause, and then all the way down to the ground. Eventually, you can push forward here, 90 degrees, then you would just push forward with the toes, coming right into your upward facing dog. My belly button's in between my forearms, and I'm only on the tops of my feet. Shoulders squeeze back. So I'm not having the tops of my legs aren't down in upward facing dog. And you would just bring the hips up and back into downward facing dog. But in order to really start building the strength, you'll actually build more strength in the arms, I think, if you lower down to 90, take a breath there, lower all the way down to the belly. So why don't we do that a couple rounds? Let's do a couple sun salutations just to really kind of ingrain it into your mind. All right. Chaturangas really are challenging and they will warm up the body. Okay, so ground down into all four corners of the feet, really pushing down and breathe here. In our Tadasana, standing mountain pose. So exhale, ground down into the feet. Inhale, reach your arms up overhead, palms touch. Exhale, fold. You can bend the knees a little bit, let the head hang. Inhale, come halfway up to monkey pose. Bend your knees, plant your hands. Exhale, step back to plank, navel to spine. Inhale, push forward, plug the shoulders in. Now you can lower with or without the knees, but just lower to 90. Pause. And then all the way down. Uncurl the toes. Inhale, chest forward and up, cobra. Engage the abs, curl the toes under, hips up and back, downward facing dog as you exhale. So breathing in your downward facing dog, rolling the shoulders away from each other, rolling the forearms in, navel to spine. Start to walk or hop the feet up to the hands, big toes touch. Inhale, come halfway up to a flat back, monkey pose. Exhale, fold over the legs. Push into the feet, look out in front of you. Inhale, circle the arms up overhead, palms touch. Exhale, hands to the heart. Take a breath. Okay, let's just move through two more. On your inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway up to monkey pose. Bend your knees. Exhale, step back with the opposite foot. Navel to spine. Lengthen your tailbone towards the heels. Inhale, push forward. Exhale, lower with or without the knees. Squeeze the elbows into the sides. Navel to spine, navel to spine, navel to spine. Lower down. Uncurl the toes. Inhale, chest forward and up. Exhale, hips up and back. Now come down to the hands and knees for a moment and then just sit back. If you have blocks, I would recommend grabbing those. If you don't, that's okay. You can just watch. And then next time you're at a yoga studio or you have blocks, then you can try this. All right. So a great thing that you can do to see if you're in alignment for Chaturanga is to place your hands in front of the blocks. Okay. So you'll have the blocks so that they'll be directly under the shoulders. On your inhale, push forward, knees can come down, plug the shoulders in, navel to spine, exhale, lower down. Now I'm squeezing the elbows in so much that they're rubbing on my sides. And then look, shoulders land right onto the blocks. So here it's nice because then you can really focus on the alignment. So if you want to lift the knees, navel to spine, you can practice here. Lengthening the tailbone towards the heels, really pushing through all four corners of the feet, pushing the heels back. And then from there, we come to your cobra and then downward facing dog. Step forward. We'll do one more. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, fold. Squeeze the legs together. Look out. Inhale, circle the arms up overhead. Palms touch. Exhale, hands to the heart. So make sure you subscribe if you want to see more yoga tutorials. I'm definitely going to be hopping on a couple times a week to break down poses like this and to do some flows. So ground down one more. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway up to monkey. Bend your knees. Exhale, step back to plank. Navel to spine. Plug the shoulders in. Inhale, push forward. Knees can come down. Exhale, lower down. Squeeze elbows in. Chest lands first when you come down to the ground. Uncurl the toes. Inhale, chest forward and up. Bhujangasana. Exhale, hips up and back. All right, come down to the hands and knees. Let's practice that last thing I just said. So I said to have the chest land first. So if you're going down in the correct alignment, with the navel to spine in a straight line from the knees to the crown of the head, then the chest will land first before the belly, okay? So if you're not in alignment and you're lowering down like this, the belly would land first and then the chest, okay? So navel to spine, like you're tucking the tailbone a little bit just to bring the pelvis into neutral. Lower down, chest lands first. Okay, uncurl the toes, inhale, chest forward and up. Exhale, hips up and back. And walk the feet forward, big toes touch. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, fold. Push down into the feet, look out. Inhale, circle the arms all the way up overhead, palms touch. Exhale, hands to the heart. So bring your arms by your sides, find your gazing point, and breathe. You can breathe in through the nose, out through the mouth, letting go of anything that needs to be let go of. All right, awesome. So if you want to round out your practice and make that your practice, what you can do is just sit down and you can sit cross-legged, coming into easy seated pose, just slowing down the breath after that flow. If you have any questions at all about Chaturanga, please let me know. Leave it in the comments and I'll be more than happy to answer. All right. Again, my name is Crystal Gray. I'm the creator of the Yoga Goddess Academy and the online yoga classes that we have. The free classes are very awesome. I hope that you can join us for some. I'll put the link in the description. All right. Thanks. Bye. Namaste.